Welcome to Chris and Carlette Live, a podcast about life, love, and overcoming obstacles. Each week, we discuss the good, the bad, and the indifferent of life's interruptions. Now, here's your host, Chris and Carlette.
Keep believing, don't go stressing, keep it moving. God, we're resting, here to help you, here to bless you. With God on our side, CNC Life.
All right, we are back. This is episodic number 49.
Yep.
I don't like this like this. You got to straighten this up now. Bam. Now slide over so your mouth can be in front of the mic. Thank you. Yes, that's it. Yes, that's my baby love. My baby love. My baby love.
You know, somebody told me that you said I'm a perfect wife, but we won't get into that. I didn't know that.
Somebody told
me that
you said that I said
that I was perfect.
So what did that do to you?
I don't know. I just found out a few minutes ago.
But what did that do? What did that do for you?
I don't know. It's still working on me. The words are penetrating in my heart.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah. Right.
Oh. Somebody said I was the perfect wife. So
I said
that I said that you. Okay. So that
we'll get into that later. So how you doing?
That might be a score. Bam, out of the park. Yeah.
You know, it's been a long day. It needs a lot of scores today. It's been a long day.
I had my first jury duty meeting or whatever today.
Okay. How do you feel?
That was very interesting to me. Well, I waited from 8:30 to 2:30, just sitting around, went out and got some lunch, whatever, came home for a hot second, had to go back, wait some more. Finally, they call us into the courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
So they were telling us about the case and yada yada, which I can't divulge at this moment. But I want to be a part of it, but then I don't. So I can't probably say that even now.
Can't.
So just for the experience, I don't know. But that was interesting.
I thought it was actually kind of rude how long you had to wait.
Well, that's part of the process because, it was like
guess.
several, I don't know. But that was cool. So, what else happened today? What else happened this week?
Well, just to talk back again about Kentucky State.
We got our Kentucky State mugs.
We got our mugs.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! I'm over campus visits right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to see another campus. I really don't. If Christian wants to, that's fine. But I don't have to see another campus.
He just got his acceptance letter to the email.
One. This is his third one. He said second. I wonder why he said that, but it was his actual.
Oh, you know what? Because I probably told him. What was the third one?
The first one was Full Sail. The second was Kentucky State. The third one, Alabama A&M.
Microsoft is calling me. I can't take their call.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one was it again?
First Full Sail.
Oh, right.
Man, they trying to get to you.
Yeah, no. I'm working on a case.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, this show is going to be real quick.
No,
it is.
I'm off today.
Oh, okay. So, real quick. So, Full Sail was first.
Mm-hmm.
I already said no to them. Mm-hmm. Kentucky State is second.
Mm-hmm.
And the third is Alabama A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting on Morehouse. See what Morehouse is going to come with.
Mm-hmm.
So, all of you all that have attended Morehouse, all y'all alphas and
Happy Founders Day to the alphas. It was Saturday, the 1st. Ice baby. Too cold. The black and gold. Okay. All right. So Yes.
Are you done
you
yet?
You have to be fair. You have alphas in your family. And I already told you.
Unfortunately.
I would not be surprised if your son pledged out.
Negative.
I'm just saying.
Next subject
I'm
is we have some.
To Carlette and Dr. Owens and Elder Bernard Robinson and my cousins Terrence Denny and Brandon Williams to Tim Adams.
So,
listen.
What are we?
All the alphas I know.
Hey,
Kenny Garmin.
Today.
You guys, happy anniversary to you all. To your Black and Gold Ice Cold A5A.
It sound like you like the alphas.
1906.
You sound like
06.
But it was
a Kappa man that changed my life.
That's right.
Okay, that's all.
Right.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's right.
That's like saying that like I said, you're the perfect wife.
And it was a Kappa man that changed my life.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it that way.
The Black and Gold. Okay, come on, keep going. Oh,
her mic is muted, guys. This is the Chris show, live show today. Okay.
Okay, come on. Keep it moving.
You sure? If you say one other thing about the alphas, I'm gonna mute your mic permanently.
You can't be that way against.
I can.
A part of the Divine Nine. You cannot.
It's only one.
And so when. Okay.
All right, you fixed a great cake today.
Yes, I made a lemon pound cake on a Monday, a rainy Monday at that. Because I had butter sitting out, and so I was like, let's make a cake.
I bet you Pastor Gary and First Lady Sandra Bush won.
The last time they had my cake was for his birthday.
I bet you they won a piece.
I think it was it his 50th birthday?
It's good too.
That was when he had a cookout and had me to bring cake. I could have brought a lasagna, some of everything.
Your brother wish he had this cake right here too.
But my sister-in-law, she got her recipe now. And I tasted her cake. Her cake is amazing. Her lemon pound cake is good.
Yeah, that was on point.
So I am released from that. My brother.
Let the record show.
Yep.
That Lady Felicia.
She has her and Javante. They have a recipe now. They worked it out.
Mama gonna work it out. All right. So that was it. Anything else?
That's all I want. Let's dive right into our topic. We're doing part 2 of His Beauty, Her Battle, Life's Interruptions, our book that we wrote. We launched it back in the spring. That was the spring, wasn't it?
Fall. No, summer.
It was summer.
Yeah.
And it was summer. It was June when we launched it. And so we did part 1. Part 1 was we talked a lot more of me, but this is part 2 because this book is his side and her side. And so, but believe it or not, the book comes a lot from his perspective more than mine, and I was the patient. So we have returning Miss Kecia Blakely. She will be joining us lately, but also Pastor Gary Bush, but also the missus has arrived. Y'all heard her. Y'all heard him talk about her. But she's on this time, and let me tell you, y'all gonna notice a difference. I know my pretty cousin. Y'all gonna notice a whole difference.
Queen bee.
Baby, listen.
She is the queen.
Y'all thought I was something. Ha!
Hey, yeah.
Just know she's my older cousin. I get it from somewhere.
Ooh, y'all do act alike, though.
So I'm just saying.
It's pretty.
And her favorite color is pink, too. I'm just saying.
When I feel for Gary. Pastor Bush.
What?
Because y'all act just alike.
But that's okay. We're family. We're cousins. We're first cousins. I'm just saying.
But
my mama even said we could have been sisters.
When I'm going through,
what?
I know that, you know.
They call him?
Yeah, because he's already dealt with it, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, But
hey, I do want to say this before we bring them on.
I feel for him.
Y'all,
I need to pray for.
We both celebrated 20 years of marriage last year.
I need to pray
Sandra, will you stop?
Pastor Bush a little bit more.
He's amazing, okay?
I know.
And she's amazing,
I know.
too. Okay, and however
But if you and your cousin are like, Lord have mercy. Let's just bring him on the show.
Anyway,
because he's going to
they've been
vouch
married
for what I'm
20
saying.
years since September 1st,
He's going
2000.
to vouch.
She was at our reception. She did not catch the bouquet, but she rubbed her finger against mine, and guess what? She was married 5 months later. Look at God, what he doing? And to all those. To all those. We hear y'all talk about us now. We heard y'all.
Yeah. So I just know that, like I said,
Yeah.
because you all are alike, I know what Gary's going through.
She's amazing.
Tell us that story about the ring again.
So she rubbed her finger against my ring at the reception at our wedding. And next thing you know, George G. Bush was on her call ID, but the night before she had a dream about George Bush and it was G. Bush. Y'all got, I'm telling you, it's a dream.
We
Swan
didn't ask for all
Lake.
that information.
Yeah, we did. So
Ah.
just go ahead. Go
See?
ahead with
And
the
then
story.
sat
Pastor
up there,
Bush?
and then they got married. Now we ain't gonna talk about how we wasn't invited to the wedding. We're not going there. And every chance I get to remind them of that, I do.
You probably was out of town somewhere.
No,
No,
we were
we
here.
weren't. We were in Garrett.
We were in Garrett.
I actually heard about your wedding after it happened. Huh? Is that how that happened?
Charge it to the head, not the heart.
We gonna charge it to something. I just know I wasn't there. As I eat my cake. Welcome.
That we don't have.
Welcome.
That we don't have.
Hey, it's
This-
just like
this
not
good
being
too.
at a wedding.
This
You
is
know,
for
when you're
you.
not at a wedding, you don't have what? The wedding cake. Huh? So, all right. They're here. We
Mhm.
have the Bushes. Kecia will come on later. She is doing her motherly duties. I'm telling you, she's on top of it, and she's working and managing 3 children and a husband and
This cake is good.
ministry. Thank you. I put a lot of love
Your
in
foot
it.
in it. Okay. All right. All right. So, go ahead.
All right, so like I said, this is part 2, and we want to focus more on your perspective this time. We really did got into my perspective, and we bringing in Sister Bush here, Lady Bush, Evangelist Missionary Bush.
Oh,
Up,
wow.
and there's Peppy. Oh Lord,
Peppy
Peppy, we
talk
we
too.
said your name, Peppy, 3 times, 4. Ooh, Peppy need a job. I keep telling him.
He did.
He need to be on Puppy Child something. Okay, so Peppy, I'm not doing this today.
He
So-
thinks somebody at the door.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, part 2 is going to be about more of him than me. And I think it's really good that you're on, Sandra, because, and I can call her Sandra because she's my cousin. So if I don't put a handle on it, folks, chill. She my cousin.
Yes.
Why are you looking over there? You're supposed to be looking
Because
over there.
I can.
Yeah.
So
You had a bad day today. What's
I had a
going-
good day. I had a productive day up until a certain time. And so
All right. Well, go ahead.
why did you have to bring that up?
Pick him up.
Peppy.
Peppy's in the mic.
Pick him up. He just
Well, let me start this off.
You got your mouth. Get a
Sandra,
little coffee. Wash that down.
Sandra, tell me, it's right here. Tell me your perspective of this story. You got the book. You read it in one day. Was it one day?
It took me a little while to read it because I was busy doing some other things.
It
but
took
I
Gary
think
one day. It took
Gary
he-
was one day.
And you know, for a man, that's amazing. That's really good. So, here we are. I'm trying. Where do I bring you in at?
Just let her flow.
Say what you want to say.
Okay. All right. So when I got my book and I was eager to read it, it seemed like so many things was getting in the way of me getting down to the nitty gritty of the book. But when I did start reading it, of course, I was flooded with so many memories of it. And the one memory that I remember that, yes, everyone, we were all catering to you, Carlette. We were all catering to you because you were the one that was going through it. And I remember we went to Dave and Buster's. And I believe was it for your birthday or was it for a graduation? It was, what was it? Or was it just a night out that we had?
Was it you talking about after the fact?
After you had, you
All
had
treatment was
already
done. You talking about after
Yeah,
all
you had
treatment was
already
done?
you had already been diagnosed. And you had already been diagnosed. And so I can't remember exactly at what stage, but you had already gone through chemo and I believe radiation and all of that.
So I was done. I was done with everything.
Were you done with it?
Because when we went to Dave and Buster's, that was for my 34th birthday. And yes, I was
Okay.
totally done with. I had all my hair back then.
Okay.
And Dave and Buster's. That was after the fact.
It was a birthday party?
Yep, it was my
Who was the
birthday.
birthday?
It was mine.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So when we went to the Dave and Buster's, and uh, the whole time I began to start thinking about Chris. And I know Chris was trying to be strong. And I remember hearing this in my spirit of, what about Chris? Nobody's thinking about Chris. We're all focused on Carlette, and nobody is concerned about him and what he's going through. Not understanding that what you were going through, he was going through too. He was fighting his own battle of trying to be strong for you, take care of you. His life interruption, his life was interrupted tremendously as well. That now he has to be the full caregiver of not only just you, but your son, and taking care of all the responsibilities that you did. And so I felt for him, and I said something to him at Dave and Buster's, and he was, you remember that, Chris, and you were still trying to be strong, and like, I'm all right, I'm all right. And I said, no, Chris, I said, we always focus on the one that's sick and forget about the caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I felt for you then. And I thought to myself, I said, this man really loves his wife. Now I'm going to have to go back to, I remember hearing about the one, what you put in the book in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
I was like, what did he say? And so, but I admire your transparency that you were honest enough to let men know that you were speaking from your heart, and this is what you said. What came out of your mouth was from your heart, and how bad you felt afterwards. And so many times, the words that our husbands say to us, as strong as we are, still affects us, and something that we don't forget. But I believe that you have made up for it tremendously, and you've
Oh
tried
yes.
to make
Oh
up,
yeah.
over and over and over again. And I really admire you, cousin. And I didn't look down on you or feel some type of way when I read that, but was shocked. But I told Gary, I said, I admire that you were transparent enough, because we have too many men that just will not, open up and tell how they really felt about what their wife was going through.
Now
To
Mhm.
change it.
let me say this to all those who's listening, and you have not purchased this book. You can get it on Amazon, or you can contact us through lifesinterruptions.com. I'm getting to a point. What she's talking about that we will not talk about. I mean, will not. It is on page. It is exactly on page.
She know the page.
Chapter 1, page 1. Now, before you get to chapter 1, page 4, you're going to get through the foreword, the preface, the chapters, our dedications. But you get, and you need to read it, because our dedications and all that. I don't know if you all realize that you all are in our dedications as well. Did y'all see
Yes.
that?
Thank you.
And you're welcome. Our pleasure. Thank you all, for real. But what she's talking about is right here. Chapter 1, page 1. And the name of that chapter is Unprocessed Pain. That should tell you something. But we're not going to tell you what he said. You got to buy the book and read it for yourself.
I said I love you.
Eventually.
I thought we were gonna go easy on Chris tonight, because Kecia and I were kind of hard on him last time.
Well,
I'm giving
Kecia
him his
yeah,
props.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
I'm giving him
what
his
she was
props.
saying was she was thankful for his transparency.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But tonight really is focused on him from his perspective, because y'all really let me give my whole thing, and the Lord came in,
Yes.
and so now it's his turn. It's his turn. So, Pastor Bush, Gary, what do you have
Yes.
to say? Now, the last time you said something, you was like, okay, I had to get myself together. I had to tell Sam, like, oh my God, he said that. Okay, so once you got past that and you kept reading, from a man's perspective, once the surprise, maybe the little anger or disbelief, once you get past that, what came next?
Well, as I began to get into the book, it was clear that you guys did an awesome job of going back and forth, sharing your story from both of your perspectives. And I think what is so critical is I've never read a book like this where, covering a situation like this where the man has been freed to talk about his experience while his wife is, the primary person that is going through the ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage men to get this book and to read this book because it's amazing work from that husband's perspective. It really is. It could almost even work, what husbands deal with when their wives are pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Chris gives a voice to the husbands
Mm-hmm.
and the things that the husbands go through when their wives are going through.
That's true. Yeah, it for me it was when you said voice, you hit the nail on the head, meaning that a lot of times, and this could even go vice versa with men going through prostate cancer and stuff like this, but I think for the men though, when their spouse are dealing with not only breast cancer but any other type of situations, it allows us to have that voice, that because men, we tend to hold things in and we don't express ourselves. But I want this to be a book that men can go out and really talk about their situations and don't hold it in, don't harbor hard feelings, be transparent about what you're going through, what you're feeling, because we need to have that release. We need to be able to discuss and to really, because men are almost like computers. We're logical and we, things got to fit right, where, women are more, what's the word? They just look at the whole picture and say, I want X, Y, Z, but they don't know how to get there. If I can, what?
I'm listening.
We know how to get there.
I mean, y'all know how to get there, but I'm saying it in this, but like I said, men are more logical and they want to put the blocks in the right spots and make sure it fit and, all tidied up. But I want this to be a book where, men can just take that data that they're getting from their wives. If I can, because I'm in IT, but if they can get that data and process that data, whereas you can, say that if A equals B, A plus B equals C, and all that, but just to kind of figure it out, which way, which path. Does that make sense? Get past
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay, I get that.
We're more detailed.
We are.
We're more detailed, and we know how to get to what you're trying to do. We may go around the block, through the woods and the trees and all that, and you want something quicker, but it takes us a little bit longer because we're working it out. We're that computer chip that's working it out the whole time, and you think we're not doing it, but we done already figured it out. You got to remember, we're mothers. So we have to juggle so many things and try, and with Carlette having 3 children, and a husband and a job, we're already, when we're going to bed, we're already thinking about how tomorrow is going to be. Okay. And so therefore I have to look at it in the terms of decorating, and what's the other word? Architectural. So it's in the details and it's in the small things that you guys look at the bigger picture. So one thing that you said, as far as the men being, open, that's a part of intimacy. When you men, husbands, can express to your wives your hurts, your pains, your fears, okay, even your disappointments in us, that's a part of intimacy. We may not want to hear all of that, meaning how we've disappointed you, but we need to hear it because that's a part of intimacy. And so what happened with the two of you with coming together, what God allowed to happen, it was to bring you together intimately. And so many times we think intimacy is just physical, but it's not. And so therefore you were able to the other thing that was in there was that Carlette, communication is a key part, because where Carlette did not think that area mattered to you, it did. Because I remember her telling me, well, it does, and I can't say what it is because they haven't read the book. Y'all got to go get the book if you want to know what I'm talking about. Okay. And so that comes out to where we think that our husbands, desires is in a certain area. So if that area is lost, it's not going to matter to him anyway, but it does. And that's where communication comes in, as far as, letting us know as the wife, your fears, your, because we're going to hold that and not take it out.
Right. Well, I think. Go ahead, Pastor Bush.
What she just said leads me to a question. During this entire process, Carlette, did you ever, or how often, did you turn to Chris and say, Chris, how are you doing? How are you handling this? What's going on in your mind?
No, because I thought I knew it already.
Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
And that's why when we were at Dave and Buster's, why I went to him and said what I said to him, because it was, right now, it's all about me. It's all about me because I'm the one going through this.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify a little bit better. I felt I knew what he already was feeling, so that's why I wouldn't let him. Carlette didn't stop nothing. I kept cleaning. I kept cooking. I kept going through my master's degree. Kept doing full-time ministry. Kept working. I did not want him to have to pick up anything. I knew him knowing this was enough.
Wow.
That's why, so by the end of this treatment, I had 7 crock pots. I had a crock pot going on for everything. If it could be smothered, I did it. If it could be...
So that was your way of easing his load, because you already felt that he was carrying a burden.
Oh, yeah. I already knew the mental anguish. Yeah, I already knew. I saw what he did with just childbirth. So can you imagine breast cancer? And the man dropped his pants in front of my mama.
Now, why did you have to share that?
Oh, well, you have already shared that on the show. When they had to do emergency C-section on me, they handed him the scrub, said, you need to change into this. The man turned around, dropped his pants in front of my mama. I mean, I'm just
drawers on.
I said pants. I'm just saying, but my mama saw you. So, the thing is, so I knew what he was going through. So I was like, I can't add too much to his plate. The mind is going through enough. And then when what happened in the kitchen, and he said what he said, that was based on something I wouldn't do. That was based on me saying no. And still to this day, I still say no. But because he didn't really understand what he had, I think had he known, it would have been a different.
But I think though, in the scheme of things, a man wouldn't want to divulge his weak side to his wife.
I agree.
So that's why he needs to have an outlet other than just the friends around the block. It needs to be almost like a group session, or to express.
But even in this, you find out how people don't know how to be that. So you have to do yes, Kecia. So you need to we got to learn. We have to learn. When the scripture talks about we have to bear the infirmities of the weak, or being there. When that time come, are you ready to be that? Exactly. Are you ready to be that? Have you postured yourself in prayer? Have you I mean, we say this stuff in our emotional times. We go, oh, God, use me. That's when you're used. We have to get out our
Exactly.
head these pulpits, okay?
Mhm.
Like I was telling somebody, with ministry, I love my pastor. I am not trying to get in his pulpit for him. I want to be
Mm.
his legs and feet. I'm the extension of my pastor. And that's my ministry as well as my husband. So if he need, and so we have marriage ministry going on. He ain't got time to be doing that. Because the word we get on Sunday and Tuesday, you can tell he is with God. And he don't have to think about nothing else. I mean, he does
Mhm.
have it. But my point is, it's like, guys, we are missing opportunities to minister and be used to God because our focus is this brown box
Mhm.
when it's so much going on. Have you read a book about, and it's like we wait for something to happen, but it's books around us all the time. The Bible talks about how wisdom cries in the streets.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Are we listening? You pass by so many opportunities
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
grab a book, to grab a pamphlet. It don't even have to be a book. To grab a trifold info, to go through a webinar. It's so many free webinars these days just to start the conversation, get you thinking. And I promise you, when you expand your knowledge, the Holy Spirit can use you. Why would he use
Mhm.
you and you don't know nothing?
He ain't
You
gonna use
don't
you and you
know
don't know
nothing.
nothing.
You ain't thought past your four and no more. And so you
Exactly.
sit up here. So my point in saying this, I'm putting a demand to everybody that's listening. Pick up something and watch God use you.
Mhm.
Think outside of your box. Or even pick up something which you've already experienced and get more knowledge of it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay? Get more
Yes.
knowledge of it. So I sat up there. In October, they had me to speak at the church again, our church. And I said at the end, listen, I don't have a title of the church breast ambassador. But I
Mm.
have gone through this. I have a testimony, I have a story, and I can help you. I don't need a title to help you. I have the experience.
Exactly.
I can be used, and I
Exactly.
am used.
Exactly.
And so
Say that again. Say that
Mhm.
again. You have the experience.
I have the
Exactly.
experience. I have the
Mhm.
testimony. And the
Mhm.
more I tell it, the more I overcome. That's Bible.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
So my point is saying that let's be beyond our four and no more. What's in front of us,
Exactly.
expand ourselves, be stretched to be used of God.
Mhm.
Be stretched. It's okay to read something outside of the Bible.
Right.
Educating yourself to be used. The need is big. Be ready. I'm just
Mhm.
saying, for we in the end times. We in the last of the last. Hello?
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
and people are crying out. The earth is groaning. All of that is happening. And so it's like, pick up something, expand your knowledge, do some. It's so much that's advertised that come to you on a daily basis on social media. Have you thought about this? Have oh, this is happening, this is being affected, and it shows up at your church, and you be like,
Mhm.
oh man, I was just reading about that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But you missed the opportunity to do that
Yep.
webinar. It had
Right.
your attention for a reason. You have to
Mhm.
pay attention what's grabbing on to you. What is
Mhm.
Holy Spirit doing? What is Holy Spirit saying, trying to get your attention about? Because you're going to come in contact with somebody that will
Let me
be
say. Let me
open.
say it this way.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see God in our experiences.
Yes, that's
And
what. Yes.
we've missed God in some simple experiences
Mm-hmm.
because we were waiting for this big thing to happen.
Yes.
God is using this small thing.
Yes.
And you have to be really in tune with God to catch that small thing. And that small thing becomes your experience. And when you speak on your experience, you have authenticity because
Yes.
you've been through it.
Mhm.
Been through it.
Mhm. I had a claimant, it was last week, and he said to me, he just began to start talking about his life experience. He had been married for 60 years. He lost his wife of 60 years. And he began to just open up. And when he got done, he said, all of us that walk this earth can write a book,
Mm.
and any of us and our books would be an interesting read. And he was absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that we have so many people that have books down inside of them of their life story, that now in this day, as it being the last days, that our stories, our life experience is to be used by ministry. I asked my husband this morning, I said that I asked him a question, and then I told him this, that if we as believers really believe the every word that's in the Bible, then that means that everything that we go through is working for our good. God allowed it to happen, good or bad, and especially the bad. And we think that the bad things that has happened in our life, that God did not allow it. Well, then that means you don't believe what's in the Bible, because he says that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. So he didn't allow us to go through the embarrassing things that we don't want to speak of, not to bring somebody else out that's hiding and needs to be free. That's how we're going to be free, by telling our experience. But the only way that we can be truly transparent and giving our testimony, we have to seek God. We have to labor for the Lord and labor and let God deliver us. And once God deliver us from ourselves and deliver us from people, as I've said before, deliver us from people, then you're free to tell your testimony. And then, do you know how many people we're going to draw to the kingdom of God when we show them who we really are? Because we in the church claiming salvation, with these titles, and these mantles, people think that we have been saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, and dripping with oil all of our lives until they hear your testimony. And when they hear your true testimony, that you're being real and you're not being fake, then that's when the kingdom grows.
Can I say something? And we are talking about the book. And how I say that we are talking about the book is how we got off into this was we were saying how what you didn't have available to you, even within the house of God or within maybe your circle, because we didn't know what to say. We didn't know what to do. So what we're saying is to expand yourself with your experiences or stuff you may come across, because you never know who may need you. That's how we got here. So my point in saying that is that I heard somebody say one time in church, and it's stuck with me for years, and I'm saying this off of what you just said, Sandra, is that they said some stuff, they was like, when I was in the world, I sinned, and I would never tell that stuff, that some stuff is just between me and God, and but their perspective was, I'm not proud of it. I don't think none of us are. Exactly. But God will use that very thing, because somebody needs to know, yes, I was brought out of that. Yes, I was, and so and I never forgot that. I was like, but then, that's contrary to the word of God, because when you overcome and you tell it, exactly, they're going to overcome. They're going to see God in your testimony. It'll be people to see God more in your testimony without even opening up the Bible.
Exactly. Exactly.
So going back to the point, because I know he's ready to change lanes. People, stretch yourselves. Educate yourself. Read a book. You don't know how God is going to use you with the very thing that you've experienced.
Absolutely.
I don't, and tell it. You had a baby out of wedlock, tell it. And you a first lady today. You had a baby out of wedlock, and you the pastor today. You had a baby out of wedlock.
I think one of the things that what struck me the most was when we went to our pastor's office, and he said that our story, our testimony on his book will live forever because we put it on paper.
It's written.
It's just like it's just like the Bible. Like the Bible is going on and on for centuries, and now that people are writing books, now that people have written or whatever, that story is going on forever.
That's right.
So it's important for, when the Lord calls us to heaven, this book is still going to be around.
It's going to be somewhere. It's going to be somewhere.
So,
and so I say to y'all, write a book. I'm looking at y'all.
Mhm.
I'm looking at
I
y'all.
remember the one thing still with what you had said about an outlet. Chris didn't have an outlet. I remember telling him that he needed to get with some other men that had gone through that he needed someone to talk to, other men. And then when you did, you begin to form that uh what was it? It was
Support group.
a support group
Mhm.
that you had begun forming. And I was so proud that you had started doing that because it was needed.
Mhm. Mhm.
We have so many support groups for women and
Oh
what
yeah.
they're going through with with cancer,
Mhm.
various cancers.
Mhm.
Okay, but what about for the men?
Mhm.
And so therefore, when I saw that need, and I'm like, Chris, this is something that you can do, and you needed it.
Mhm.
And so therefore, this book was more of the his beauty, her battle. The beauty of it was we watched you,
Mhm.
and we watched how you took care of your wife in this battle.
Yes.
Your complaints, you may have had many complaints at home, but it didn't show outside the home.
Wow. Yeah, I can remember. I can remember. I'll say this. I think I might have told it, but I can remember driving down the street and Benford Boulevard
Oh.
in Indianapolis.
Mhm.
And I talked to one of our previous pastors, and I said, "You never." And I just started crying, and then I called him up and said, "You never know how much someone means to you until they go through
Mhm.
something
Wow.
like
Yeah.
this." And
Mhm.
because we were newly married, and
Mhm.
the picket fence was in front of our face, the children, the whole entire family, that whole painting that
In your mind,
Hollywood creates,
Yes.
imagery.
Yes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was there, and all of a sudden, in a matter of whatever, it was just swiped from under our feet, and now we had to regroup and see what we're going to do. I mean, up until you know it's like even now, I think back um to the difference between the ages of Christian and Evan, and I'm like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
man, God, if Carlette wouldn't had, or if we wouldn't have gone through that, then Evan would be so much older, and
Evan would be about 13 or 14.
yeah, and so
Chloe would be about 10.
we wouldn't have to go through right. I wouldn't be almost 70 years old by the time.
Yeah, by the time when Chloe turned 18, I'll be 59.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh man, Lord, why did you do? But He has a plan. I mean, and
Yes.
and even
Yes.
even I get so I'm switching lanes a little bit too. Um, it's sometimes you question God, you get upset at God, and He
Mhm.
knows, and
Mhm.
it's like we're dealing with a situation from when Christian was 13, 11,
Oh, 8.
8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and his desire was to play football, and
Mhm.
when he dresses up, I mean, he looks like a linebacker or something, and
Mhm.
that really tugs on my heart because he looks like it. He knows the plays. He knows the set, the setup of the plays and just different stuff like that. I'm like, God, why did you allow that to happen to him? Why did you allow breast cancer to be a part of? I mean, to be in our story. Like, God, why did you allow this to happen?
Mhm.
And I'm like, you get upset at God. So it's still having that place to vent, still
Yes.
having that
Yes.
place to share. Because I mean, even even if we as men hold it in, God still knows. So I'm gonna ask you this, Pastor Bush, is there an issue with venting to God about why He allowed something to happen? Is there an issue with getting upset with God? about your current situation?
Absolutely not. Jesus said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jesus questioned, why am I in this place? God can handle anything that we present to him.
That's good.
He's not offended, because before we even express it, he's already aware that we're thinking it. And so just because you express it, that doesn't make it worse than you thinking it, because anything we think, we're expressing to God anyway. We don't even have to speak it. God already knows. Yeah. It's just when we express it, we feel better. There are times, there's many times that we will disagree with God. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
We will disagree with God. But when we come back to our senses, we recognize that the all-knowing God, he can see what we can't see. And we ultimately come to the conclusion, God, you were right. Because anytime you still conclude that God is wrong, you're saying you know more than God. You're smarter than God. You're wiser than God. We don't see, I see the reaction that both of you just had, but we do it without realizing, wait a minute. If we really feel that way, we're telling God, the creator, that we're more intelligent than he is.
Wow.
God, you shouldn't do it that way. You should have did it this way.
That reminds me of the evangelist at our church, Evangelist Trina McWhorter. She says, for all y'all that's out here praying about what God told you, you already in disobedience.
Woo!
That's what I'm talking about. I was like, oh. She was like, for all y'all sitting there talking about, you heard God tell and then you going to talk back to him and say, I'm going to pray about what you just said.
Absolutely.
I'm going to pray to
Absolutely.
you.
It's what Sandra says at our church. We what do you call it?
Have sidebars.
Have a sidebar with God.
Have a sidebar with God.
Have a sidebar with God.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
God, you're right. God already told you.
He already told you, and then you're going to pray about it.
Come on, let me pray about that.
I'm pray to you about what you said. Okay.
Let me get back with you on that one, God.
Right.
Man, that's disobedience just by response.
Absolutely.
And you ain't even did nothing yet. It was just your response to the instruction.
Absolutely. So these hard things, as my wife said, if we truly believe Romans 8:28, for we know that all things work together for the good. For these hard things, don't you think we have to get better at, okay, when we face these challenges, let's start looking for, it's going to work out for my good. How is this going to work out for my good?
Exactly.
Rather than, this is going to take me out. Take you out, it's supposed to work for your good. Somehow, some way, it should work for your good. So one of the good that came out of this is this. Now we have, because you guys experienced what you experienced, and God gave you to write this book, now men have a voice of a husband.
Wow.
Because the question I want to ask Chris is, when you guys were there and got the diagnosis, Chris, how did you feel? What went through your mind?
At that point, I think I just wanted it gone. I mean, I'm like, I turned into what mode? Divide and conquer mode. Okay, let's see how we're going.
Fight mode.
Yeah, we're in fight or flight, or what is it?
Fight or flight, but I think it was more just straight up fight.
Yeah. So, it didn't really hit me like, bam, she was diagnosed with, breast cancer. It was like, okay, this is the diagnosis. All right, let's see how we're going to beat it. And I wanted to go the holistic way, but she wanted to go a different route. So
I was open. Dude had me drinking stuff. He had me doing, I went organic. We was at Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. We was at Whole Foods a lot. He had me doing colonics. I was doing it all. And he really would have me doing this before they did the mastectomy, because he did not want me to have a mastectomy. That's what it really come down to. And to be honest with you all, the tumor they got rid of the tumor before the mastectomy. But the thing is, did we get it all?
Right.
So we take the breast, we can give her another one, and we not knowing that didn't happen until what, 7-9 years later. People didn't know that I was walking around with a prosthesis, and sit up in church shouting and doing like this. But but it's like it was nothing but God. I'm telling you, every step of the way.
Was that what motivated that statement that you made in frustration when you went and slammed the door?
Yeah, because she wouldn't do it my way.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what I wanted to hear you say.
Yep.
Yeah.
She wouldn't do it my way, so I got mad. I was like, what do I do?
Y'all, when you get when you get tea, it was loose leaf tea, but this was special. It literally had tree bark in it. Tree bark. He mixed it in some water and handed it to me. He mixed it in my Pampered Chef.
It was called something.
Pampered Chef pitcher that was special made. And he handed it to me. Girl, that thing back then was like $25. He handed me this thing and was like, drink it. Not drink it because you didn't, separate it. No, we had tree bark in the glass. And you tell me to drink it. Tree bark and all. I'm like, what, I'm supposed to chew and choke on it? I'm not drinking this. I'm not drinking this. And he shoved it. I was like, dude. And I was calm. I wasn't yelling at him. I was like, and I even said it, dude, I'm not drinking this. And there she blows.
Right.
And when he said it, I didn't go running, crying. I just stood there and was like, for real? I mean, in my mind, because by the time, because he said what he said and left. It was I promise you, it was like soap opera drama, like reality show. Okay, it was reality show before they was happening. And I'm just sitting up here like, this dude did not do this. And I was just like, really? Okay. I mean, I didn't bawl or cry. I stood there in the kitchen like, okay.
You didn't have to. He did it for you.
Yeah. You didn't cry? You didn't break down when he said that to you?
No. Gary, I don't cry a lot. I only cry. You don't know who gets the most tears out of me? Is the Lord. That's when Carlette cries. I don't cry a lot. I only cry in church, really. But
so when he said it, though, weren't you stunned?
I was only stunned that he said it, but not really the weight of the words. I know that sounds crazy. Because I looked at it as, you just acting out. That's how I looked at it as. You're acting out. So I'm like, okay, go let you do your thing. Go have your tantrum. And I'm going to stand right here. Because I literally stood in the kitchen like, okay. And I start to ask myself, so as a wife, am I supposed to be like, forget what's going on? And I just go and rub his back or something. This was all in my head. And no, I didn't put this in the book. But I'm just saying that in my mind like, okay, how am I supposed to respond to this? Am I supposed to like forget that he just attacked me and just go, well, with his mouth and just go and be
massage my feet?
Yeah. Am I supposed to do that right now? So eventually, after, I walked back to the room and he was bawling. He was for real.
I know it was.
He was bawling.
Wow.
And I was just like, I didn't say nothing to him. I just sat next to him and I was just quiet. Did I rub your back?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I know I sat next to him.
So this is what.
Oh, you did.
we moved out to L.A. and I had asked the Lord. I was for years like, what was the name of that?
But it was bigger than that.
It was bigger than this.
Dude, it was tree bark.
I think it was called burdock root. I believe that was.
Well, we had the burdock chunks.
They probably. Yeah. So that's kind of like that's what it looked like though, right?
Okay, that is. I still couldn't get that down, but that's much better than that's like trying to swallow Tic Tacs compared to literally you had chunks.
Somebody at work gave me this, and I think it's from. Indian type of.
I don't know.
Whatever, but you
Y'all,
still
he had
wouldn't
me
drink
doing
it.
a litmus. He had me doing these. What was it?
Litmus test to make sure your pH balance was.
What was my pH? Because he said, because if your pH is this, then you shouldn't be having chemo. And if your pH, I'm just sitting up here like this dude and went and spent all this $40, $50 stuff, and I ain't about to do none of this stuff. I'm just sitting up here like, oh man. And then, until he started telling me to drink, I was like, okay, this is where we stop. This is where we stop. So,
But it was out of love.
Yeah.
oh, it totally was. But me saying that I wasn't gonna drink it was out of love too. Love for myself, because I wasn't about to choke. I wasn't about to choke. Oh God. So yeah. No, but I appreciate it.
Was that a pivotal time?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What in our marriage?
I think it got real on another level. It was like
Yeah.
because him crying and he ran. When he said what he said, he darted back to the room. He didn't walk back. He ran. Because I think he
Really?
he ran, and I think it was almost like, I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe I just said that to her. It's like, I just lost my trophy as the best husband in the world by saying that.
When I read that, I felt his pain. I'm like, Lord Jesus, I know he in there bawling. I know he is. I know he wish he could just do this and bring it back. It's like, Lord, gee, how do I recover from this? How do I recover? And you still been trying to year by year recover from that.
Yeah.
But see, did I hold it against him? Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That gave
For how long?
Like
For how long?
you don't know. Well, I mean, I'm just not
you
y'all,
know
but
what? Watch yourself.
when Carlette lets somebody go, she lets them go.
We gone. Y'all gone.
But I didn't do that to you. This is something different. See, you just crossed the street, went down a whole different path.
But
what I
you got
did
close
was,
to.
What I did, no, I was not. Man, I'm married to you. I couldn't do that. I'm married to you.
I'll plead the fifth.
Dude, I never said the D word to you, so don't even try it.
No, I didn't
But
say
we don't
that.
have to say the D. We don't have to say the D word to distance ourselves from
I didn't
you.
do
Still
that.
married to you,
I did
living
not
in the
do
same
that.
house.
I'm gonna tell you what I did.
And some of the decisions you made that you share in this book was retribution
You think
for
so?
what he said. Absolutely.
No, it was not. I know what you're talking
Absolutely.
about. I could not let him in that doctor's office. The man, I know what you're talking about. He did not
She coulda
want me
let
to
me-
have the surgery.
But she could have let me in there.
And
Though.
then another reason why I didn't let him in, because he wasn't rational in his thinking.
Oh,
When Carlette,
Renelle, one of our long faithful friends and supporters, cousin. No, I'm just saying.
yeah.
She said, "Yeah, it was."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
I mean,
Retribution.
when you read it, you see it. When you read it, you see it. You can say you can't, but when we read it, we heard it.
No, he
I was
was
like,
not
she got him.
rational in his thinking. My husband, y'all found out a lot of stuff. When my husband is emotional, he is not rational in his thinking, and he knows it. It's a many a times he got to come back and apologize to stuff. Am I right? Come on, stop texting. You know I'm right. I have to be the cleanup woman a lot of times. Now he has gotten better, but I'm telling you, it's still happening. And the other thing is he wasn't rational. I wasn't in the mindset of, Carlette was in fight mode, and I was taking God at his word. The Lord could have told me to drink lemons every day. I would have done it. Everything the Lord told me to do, I did it. So I didn't have time for irrational thinking.
That wasn't
husband,
irrational.
no husband.
That wasn't irrational.
It was irrational because my thing was, when they told me, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was already at mastectomy before they even said the word. Because my thing was, get this out of my body. My thing was, get the chance of anything spreading or doing it out. So if that's the way we got to do it, and y'all can replace it, and according to the law, you had to replace it by law.
But it gets smaller.
But you know what? You wasn't carrying these things. You didn't have grooves in your shoulders from bra.
I would have helped.
TMI.
No, but this is the realness of it.
I would have helped.
This is the realness of it, because I began to look at it. Okay, this is a blessing.
There you go.
Exactly.
Hello.
That was working out for your
It
good.
was working out for my good. I'm no longer had to be supersized. I could be
exactly
a combo.
And the thing is, I remember a conversation that we had right before you found out, and how expensive it was because you were supersized.
Yes, I was over $100 for a bra.
Yes,
well, a quality bra at Nordstrom. Yeah, we having a conversation, Gary. This is what needs to be said.
Do we have to listen to this?
Yes, you have to listen to it, because you know why? Because y'all always be on it. So you need to be. You need to talk about it, because we're gonna use your credit card to pay for the bra.
I'm trying to I'm trying to get Kecia to join. But she's I don't know what she's
posing these great questions.
Yeah, why don't you just join? Send her the link.
Kecia, I told him you was kind of the cleanup woman. Yes, Miss Demetra. Yes.
But Kecia said, what about considering your husband?
That is, I get it. His body, my body is not my own, to this, that, and the other. But Kecia, I have to tell you, he was not thinking rationally. The doctors was looking at him like, are you serious? So it was real easy for them to be like, yes, according to the patient's wishes, he cannot come in here. He made it easy for himself. No, that is the law.
But you could have let me in. That was retribution.
I wasn't looking at it like that. It had nothing to do with what you said.
Whatever you go through, I have to go through.
Guess what? New set. Love it or leave it.
He loving it.
PG.
It is, but this is real. This is real.
PG.
No, I am so serious, because I and you know what? You want to know why I did that? Because we're too scared to do that and have these conversations in the church, and people dying every day.
That's true, baby.
Exactly.
So do it again. Show me what you just did.
I'll do it later on. One time was enough. That was enough.
If he didn't catch it the first time, wait until the show's over.
You married to me, listen. But the thing about it, I just saw one of my kids on my face. Oh God. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. They do look like me. Okay. So anyway, yeah. Okay, so y'all thought it was retribution. I didn't see it. I was in fight mode, guys, from beginning to the end of all treatment, and I didn't look. I look at it as I had to be my own advocate.
Right, and that's the fight mode. That's the fight mode that it was. I'm protecting myself, and so right now I can't deal with you.
So, Chris,
that's good.
Another question for you before we go.
Okay,
and you guys transition. Speaking from a man's perspective, we can be selfish. We look at our wives. We're very visual.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we're looking at our wives, we're looking at them as sexual beings.
Mm-hmm.
And so we like their curves, we like their body parts. That's natural. God made us that way. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you begin to process what was going to happen from your perspective, what were you thinking and how did you feel?
That's a real transparent question. Answer as well. So can you type yes? Yeah, Kecia, we emailed. So with me, I'm a breast man, and
are you really?
Yes, And so it was like a part of something that I'm just going to, something that I love is being cut away, is being made smaller. And it's like, okay, we no longer have fun.
Mm.
So, is that somebody's phone?
No, that's me.
Oh, so it's
She
just,
don't have it. She said she don't have it.
oh, it's just, hold on, let me see. It was difficult to picture that. I mean, I wrote in. I don't know if I want people to read the book for what real emotion, like just going down the street type thing.
Right,
But
right.
it's just it's real. I mean, like that's something that you love, and it's all of a sudden it's just gone. I mean, like, Lord, how could you do this to me? We just got married. We, you know. And it's just like, oh man, but and then a lot of people probably got upset. Well, how could you get upset because a part of your wife is being cut off?
Right.
Right. And why? I mean, she's living, yeah, but still, God, like you said, made us to desire. I mean, even Solomon talked about it. You know, so I mean, yeah, it was hurt. Well, not so much hurtful, but it was just discouraging and.
But see, that made me upset.
Why?
Wow.
It did.
Wow.
I thought it was inconsiderate. I'm like, I'm more than my breast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
I understand that.
And see, that's the part, even to this day. You know, we over this. 15, 16 years. We're over this. And you can see still is like, I don't, he doesn't get why I don't get it, and I don't get why he doesn't get my view, and I don't get his view.
Yeah, but Carlette, that's why we're talking about this.
Exactly. And what my point of saying is it's okay.
That's important to us. It's
Right.
important to us.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad because it was important to him. You know, you always tease me all the time. What's my favorite body part of my wife? Now, what if that was cut away?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think I would feel?
But the thing is that
and she would say,
didn't
"I'm
have
just not
anything
that."
to do. She didn't have anything to do with this. This is not something that she did on her own.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't do it on her own. It'd be different if she decided, I'm going to go to the doctor and have a reduction.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't do it on her own.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, I can understand why she doesn't understand why you don't get it. Yes, that was a part of, that's what you were attracted to. But we want to know that you love us for who we are. I said this, that, cut it out, that when, just a minute.
Peppy, like, listen.
Peppy's like, we've been on here long enough.
Right.
Hold on a minute.
Give him a
I want her to
puppetry.
finish that thought. Then I'll go take care of Peppy because this is an important thought that I want her to finish.
Okay.
Sorry. That when beauty is within. And I've said this, that a man needs to, we know that men are visual, okay? And the parts that you like those parts. And so we have to understand that eventually that's going to fade away, okay? And so what am I trying to say? That I said this, when the man marries his wife and he's looking at the way that she looks the day that she gets married, and you were attracted to her, God forbid that she would have to stay looking like she looked. Well, let me put it this way. The only way that your wife or wives would keep the look that you were attracted to when you first married her, she'd end up having to die the next day. Because anything could happen the day after you get married, the month after you get married, a year after you get married, that changed the whole dynamics of her look. So did you marry the woman? You marry her for who she was on the inside, because the Bible has told us that where beauty lies. So I've seen some beautiful women that ugly on the inside. Okay.
That's
But I've
true.
seen some women that was not as attractive as some men would look at, that's beautiful on the inside. So therefore, because she is not the size that she was, and she's not even the size that she was when you married her.
That's true.
She enlarged as the years went on, she enlarged.
But
So
how come I can't love and be selfish at the same time?
Well,
that's oil and water.
I mean, yeah, you can love and be selfish at the same time to a point. But when it comes to our health, okay, so it wasn't cancer, it was something else. So what if God had have just taken her from you? Then what? Were you going to blame her?
Okay. And I'm just, these are rhetorical questions. Well, not rhetorical, but just blanket. So how come I can't love her and be upset at God?
Because
the
again,
Bible says
that
you can
the
be
scripture
angry
says,
and sin not, but just don't sin with it. Don't go too far with it, brother.
Don't go too far because you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you can't get back. But again, we got to still go back to that scripture. All things, all, not some.
Yep.
But all, ALL, things work together for the good of them who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. You wanted to be in ministry. You wanted God to use you. Lord, use me in whatever area that you want to use me in. And so therefore he didn't say, okay, Chris, tell me where you want me to use you at. He said, use me.
And again, that's another opportunity. That's another opportunity out of the pulpit, opportunities to be used of God. People stop running to them pulpits, and God has so much work. He got so much work outside of that.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. So because you ended up going through this and it took away what you desired, okay, did you die? Did it kill you? Okay, so he said that you can handle it. He said you can handle it. So he allowed you guys to go through that because you could handle it. Now he wants to come on because you can handle it. And if you couldn't have handled it, he wouldn't allowed you to go through it. And then he made you stronger in ministry. So had you not gone through this, would you be advanced in your ministry where you're at right now from where you were then? Look at the avenue that it has taken you.
Yeah.
Had you not gone through that, you would not be. Where would you be right now?
Well,
think about it.
Well.
You have a whole book, Chris.
Huh?
You have a whole book. You have a book.
Yeah, but
you had a book. Number one, you would not have the book. Would you have this talk show right now?
We still could have had the book, but just leave them.
You know what? Get out of here. Okay,
Let it
Gary.
go.
Okay, Pastor Bush, Gary, come back to the camera.
Well, okay, while he's coming, let me ask you this. How do you think she feels knowing that she had to have her breast, a part of her body cut off? Now, let me ask you this. How would you feel if you had to have a part of your body cut off? Okay?
Pew, pew.
That she desired. That was for her pleasure.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
Wait a minute.
So you have to remember that it was cut off for her. And so this is a part of who we are, a part of who we are as women that makes us feel attractive, desirable to men. And so now, have you ever considered her feelings on this aspect of, because now she's sharing that with the whole world, like we did with you, that, okay, well, what about Chris? How does Chris feel?
Mhm.
Because we're not selfish to say that, well, Chris, you're being selfish for not thinking about her, because we understand, yes, this affects you too.
Chris, I was listening off camera, of course, and that was a powerful question. I know we laughed and everything when you said that.
Mhm.
That was a very powerful question. You said, "Can I love her and be selfish too?"
Mhm.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Yep. These are the discussions that need to be happening at these marriage retreats.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
These are conversations
Absolutely.
that save marriages. Seriously.
Exactly.
You know,
Mhm.
and I'm telling you, I have to go back to this. What I was taught, and I never accepted the diagnosis, but I said yes to the assignment. This is still the assignment being happening. These conversations. This is
You
still
understood the
happening.
assignment.
Mhm.
Yes.
You
Yes.
understood the assignment. And when we understand the assignment, because I can say that you went through this gracefully. And I didn't get a chance to talk about the last time, but I remember when you would be coming home from your treatment, and I would talk to you on the phone, and I said, just hang the phone up. You don't have to explain anything to me. When you start feeling sick, you want to throw up, whatever, just hang the phone up. And I understood that assignment. Everybody can't go through what you went through. No different than Gary and I testimony when it is shared, couldn't go through what we're going through.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so everybody has their own assignment. And like I said, Chris, yes, you can be selfish. You can be selfish, to a degree, but then thanking God that she's still here.
Mhm.
So Lord, I'd rather have her here than to have than have the cassava millers.
I
That
told
Because let me
is
tell you
funny.
something. Let me tell you something. You don't have to carry that. You don't
You
have to
don't have
carry
to
that
carry
burden,
it.
but the larger they get, your back hurts.
Your back hurt.
I
Your
would have helped
shoulders
though.
hurt.
I would have helped.
You know
Yeah.
what? You
The back hurts.
ain't the water carrier, man. Gone. So listen.
I was the water boy.
You know what?
No,
I
it's
want
just-
to ask this.
Mm.
Now, see, you made me
No.
think of something
Please.
when you said that.
Baby, they have to. How many minutes do we have? How many minutes do we have with you?
We're way over, but
When she
Wait,
said
let
what?
her finish your thought.
Okay, so when you said that, what if it was reversed? What if something was taken from you that she enjoyed? And so it made me think of, and this is something we should consider as a topic, is when a couple, and you have to say a couple, is going through prostate cancer.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Exactly.
I-
And the wife
oh.
is still energetic.
Yes.
And
Yes.
now what you do? What you
Now,
gonna do?
what do you do?
What you gonna do?
Yep.
And that is and I told my husband that's a conversation that we don't have in the church. And we have so many couples that's suffering from that because and so therefore that's why we have a lot of frustration in the church too, because you have one partner that can and one partner that can't.
Yep.
And so therefore it's going to that's where that communication come, intimacy. You're into me, and finding a way to be intimate with your spouse and taking your pride out, because for the most part of it, the men are the one that has the pride about it.
So that could be a whole nother
Oh yeah.
whole
Topic.
nother night where you guys talk about how you guys work through all of that.
It's just
And
finding the
still-
couple that will be willing to be transparent and allow for those questions that will help millions.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It will
Absolutely.
help.
We also are using our book for a marriage ministry. Our pastor put us over to marriage ministry, so this is one of the prerequisites.
Congratulations. I
Thank
saw
you.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
So
That's
we had a
wonderful.
great turnout last week, and we watched Fireproof, and we had some awesome couples
Okay.
at our movie night. We
And
watched
it was a launch to our discussion with the book that goes with it, Love Dare. It starts in January, and all married couples, you don't have to be a member of our church that they can join in. That's why we they gave us the permission to advertise this on our personal pages on social media, so that others can join in that are married. Okay, married, and can join in the conversation, and they buy the book and join in, and because we're going to be on it for so many months, because it is a dare. It is a dare.
And so the point that I was making about our book as well is this can be used to open up those discussions with the men and truly get to like how they're feeling, regardless if it's cancer or whatever. It helps with the communication and the dialogue with couples. So when if they reach to this point where they have a testimony similar to ours, they'll already be prepared, for the battle. So,
and when you talk about it, you get rid of stigma. You can help with fears. You can conquer fears. The more you communicate about it, the devil wants you to be silent.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
He wants you to be silent so you can be
he don't want
cornered.
you to be free.
Don't want you to be free.
You're getting ready to be a force for the kingdom.
Right. He doesn't want other people to know that you can overcome what they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
See, the devil wants us to live in a silo. And he wants us not to look outside of that silo and see others who have overcome, who have been delivered, or who have gotten past these situations. And so that's why it really is the trick of the enemy to have us be quiet about certain things. And we are learning, as the church evolves, we are learning that the things that we were silent about in the past really had us bound.
Yep.
And we need to be free. I'm not saying be reckless, but be free to share the things that we've been delivered from, so that takes some of the power away from, and I'm careful whenever I attribute power to the devil, because he just has influence, but that takes his influence away from that area when we free ourselves to share our story that will help someone else.
Good.
All right.
Well, we want to thank you all for
thank
joining. Gary, Pastor Bush, this is your third time on.
Probably fourth, because he's also done call-ins too.
Yeah,
he's done call-ins. He's good. He's
It's
one of
always
our
my
faithful. He's a milestone listener, follower.
Yes.
Always my pleasure. Always my pleasure.
He's what is he in the Church of God in Christ?
Oh, he's big. He's national.
He's national adjutant or something like that.
He's Ames.
Ames.
On the Chris and Carlette show, I'm Gary.
And we thank God for his wife who has supported him.
Right.
And even she be sending text messages when he be on.
Hey, when they come on the show, we gotta lift up an offering.
Right. It's like the church of God.
Matter of fact, let me put the cash out.
I love the church
Yes.
of God in Christ.
We're going to go back to the original version. Okay, but anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
that's the only version I sing.
That's the only version I know.
So to all the people out there that are watching, if you want to make a donation,
yes, to the ministry, the Bush Ministry,
right?
And the name of their church is Temple of Faith.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Tabernacle of Faith.
Temple of Faith. You got it right.
Temple of Faith. Right. Oh Lord, I thought I was going to.
And
believe
then
it or
if
not,
you want,
we Kojic too. We just wow. No, I was playing.
But yeah, CNC Live, $CNC Live.
Yes,
if you want to make a donation, either to the CNC Live or if you want to
the Ministry
of the Bushes.
Mm-hmm. It is a ministry.
God bless you. We appreciate that.
Yes,
absolutely.
So we thank you all. Yeah.
Peppy said, "Tell Brady hi."
Peppy's so pretty and he big.
Fluffy.
He got corona big.
You need a job. I keep telling him that.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Peppy said, "Look, I'm getting on this camera and this CNC Live. It's gonna be Puppy Live in a minute." Yes.
Thank you. Buy the book.
Thank you.
Buy the book.
Yeah, this would be good under your Christmas tree. Well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buy the book.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
God bless you.
God bless you all too.
We'll call y'all.
Love you guys.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, Kecia, we tried, baby. Next time.
Kecia, Kecia, you should have joined. LaShonda Hawkins, Carlette, you confirmed.
I confirmed. What I confirmed?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, y'all was talking real good. We had Pastor Michael Bush. He came on. God bless him and his ministry. They have a new location in South Bend. God bless them. Him and his beautiful wife. Beautiful wife.
Yes.
And Renelle and so many people. Sister Gail was on. Sister Sylvia Boyce and I'm Cordell and Miss Lundy and
Bryant.
Marilyn Chappelle, Joy. I call her Thelma.
Where you see all that at?
I'm scrolling down from the beginning.
I don't see all those. They commented.
Or they Miss Demetra was on. It just says that they were watching. But thank you all for joining us tonight. Next week we're working on something, a part 2 of another thing. Not sure if we're gonna do it, but we're looking at a part 2 of a previous thing that was a topic that it was like unfinished. But again, if you would like to buy this book, go to lifesinterruptions.com. You can also, and if you go that route, you get an autographed copy from us. However, it can also be purchased on Amazon, which we I'm just saying we don't sign those because we don't have them. Amazon has them. And then the other thing, they're in the bookstore at High Praise Ministries in Michigan City and our church, the Life Church of Atlanta. If you would like our book in your church bookstore, contact us. We can work out a deal or something. And it's also can be a profit building for your church as well. So we love and appreciate you all. Next Saturday, not this coming Saturday next, the week before Christmas on the 18th, I will be canning with Carlette again. Our class for December, we're going to be doing pears and a cherry cobbler. So Go ahead.
And my mom's 90th birthday.
Yes, she will be 90.
Yes. On December
the
8th.
And then on the 15th.
My dad will be turning
91.
Yes. And my niece, I don't know how old she is. She's
probably
on
30 something.
21st. Yeah. And then my brother-in-law.
He's Christmas Day.
Yes. He'll be 75.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put it on the airways through the internet. That there's a challenge out there.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a challenge, and I want all those that are listening.
If you want to join in, do they?
Yeah, you can join in, but there's a challenge between me and this doctor. Some people may know him, some people may not. About weight loss.
To know him is to love him.
And so I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to throw his name out there as well. His name is Dr. Do I have a drum roll? Let's see. Let me see if I have a drum roll. No, I don't have a drum roll. But his name is Dr. Dwight Owens.
Now listen, we've had him on the show twice. He is a clinical psychiatrist.
And I'm challenging him.
Oh my.
To a weight loss challenge. 15 pounds.
By when?
By February 1st. January, what is it? 31 days in January?
Yeah.
The end of January, 15 pounds.
Y'all got to lose weight. 15 pounds between now and January 31st.
And January 31st.
And whoever wins,
whoever
loses the most
will get a Macy's card, $100 Macy's card from the other person.
Okay.
So if you all know Dr. Owens, please make sure that he holds his part of the bargain for me, please.
Oh, wow. He going to have some choice words.
Yeah, he going to have some choice words.
Because, he private. He going to be like, don't be putting my business out there.
Right. But, hey. It's my show.
Oh, my.
When he get his show that he could do. No.
Oh, hold up.
What's that?
My cousin Darren, his birthday is tomorrow, the 7th, and their daughter, hers is the 10th. That's Kecia. Well, happy birthday.
Hey,
all December birthdays. 1, 2, 3.
A happy birthday to you. A happy birthday to you. May you feel Jesus near every day of the year. Happy birthday to you. A happy birthday to you. And the best year you ever had.
Okay, and
All
there
right.
you have it.
There you go.
If nobody else sang happy birthday to you, we just did it for the month, for all December
For all
birthdays.
December birthdays.
Love y'all.
Yep.
All
we
right.
Love y'all.
So next week, we're working on a part 2 of something. We will let you know. If not, it'll be something good we're talking about and us as the guests. So,
Ooh, you messy.
who?
You.
I did.
All right. Well, we'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Love y'all. Remember, seek the face of God. Pray. Call on his name. He wants to hear your voice.
Peace.
Thanks for joining us this week on Chris and Carlette Live. Make sure to visit our website, chrisandcarlette.com. If you're on Facebook, share this broadcast. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our show. You may also find us on Apple Podcast, where you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. Let us stay in contact with you by texting CNC Live to 474747. That's CNC Live to 474747.
CNC Live.